Views and opinions expressed in this program are not necessarily those of Love 101 FM.
Hello and welcome to the Morning Watch on Love 101 FM. I'm your host, Dylan Toussaint. A special welcome to our listeners on love101.org, and if you're overseas and on the move, U.S. listeners can access us at 712-832-8001. And if you're in the UK, 0330-332-6541. Or join us via the Love 101 FM app that can be downloaded from the Google Play Store or the Apple Store. You can also join us on Love 101 FM Facebook and YouTube Live. In the first watch today, analyzing the PEP results. And in the second watch, men's mental and physical wellness 24/7. For our social media question, we ask, how satisfied are you with the management and results of PEP this year? Share your responses on our Love 101 FM Facebook page and YouTube channel. And also on WhatsApp 876-997-3125 using the hashtag The Morning Watch. We'll share your responses later on in the program, but before all of that, here's I quote.
All right, today's I quote says, better than 1,000 days of diligent study is one day with a great teacher. And this is actually a Japanese proverb.
Good morning, Jokal.
Good morning.
How are you doing, my brother?
I'm good, I'm great.
Yes,
great.
You had that great teacher in your life at school?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Many great teachers.
Many great teachers.
Yeah,
give me some names.
I'll get in trouble, but big up to those from the Citadel Academy.
You don't get in trouble.
Kensington Primary School, the greatest schools on earth.
Yeah?
Yes.
Okay, with some great teachers.
That's right.
All right, first watch will be back after this break.
Downswell Foundation presents Realignment 2024 with Kevin Downswell, Chevelle Franklin, Positive, John Mark Wigan, Prince Saj, and more. Tickets 2,000, VIP 6,000, VVIP 10,000. Fontana, Genus, and St. Jago Pharmacies, Lions, and Kingston Bookshops. SpurOpen.com/realignment 2024. 876-203-7030. Saturday, July 6th, Ronnie Williams Entertainment Center. Sunday, July 7th, Mandeville Primary and Junior High Playfield. 5:30 p.m. both days.
Need auto insurance? Advantage General puts you in the driver's seat. Apply online, purchase online, renew online, submit a claim online. Coverage in no time. Request a quote, purchase insurance, submit claims, even pay renewals with Advantage General online. From zero coverage to insured in 10 minutes. Advantage General, a member of Sagicor Group Jamaica. Conditions apply. Winnings are on the floor. Winnings are on the floor. 75-inch smart TV paired with sound bars that they get every week. Samsung Galaxy smartphone a day. S24 day. Plus 3 grand prize when I get money for splash. $1 each in a big money cash.
Get trivia prices of data and credit. Switch to Flow or activate any unlimited prepaid plan. Or pay a yard and road bill on time and in full for chances to win. Conditions apply.
Febreze. Imagine getting home after a long day and it smells so amazing that it makes you smile. Try Febreze Plugs, an air freshener that delivers continuous scent for up to 50 days when you plug it in low mode. Indulge in wonderful scents for weeks with Febreze.
La, 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 la.
PK Global Ministries presents their Prayer Storm Revival Service at Winscar Park, Christiana, Manchester, Friday, June the 28th and Saturday, June the 29th, 2024. Starting time, 7 p.m. Featuring Prophet Kenneth Okoji from Houston, Texas, and Evangelist Ian Levy from Christiana, Manchester. Sponsored by Bread of Life Entertainment, Forever Young Hairdressing and Beauty Supplies, and Sugar Notch Recording Studio. It's PK Global Ministries Prayer Storm Revival Service. Be there. You're invited to listen to Dollars and Cents every Thursday at 8:16 a.m. We'll give you tips on how to make your money count, how to save, and how to grow your wealth. It's all inside Dollars and Cents, brought to you by BPM Financial Limited, taking you higher. That's Dollars and Cents every Thursday at 8:16 a.m. on the family station, Love 101.
Get ready for another inspiring show this Testimony Tuesday inside Alive, 1 p.m. to 4:30 p.m. June 25. Packed with inspirational stories and island-flavored music. 1:45, we bring you the brain testing Menticize Listener Speak Edition. Stick around for prayer blast at 2 o'clock as we bring in the prayer bells of heaven. 2:15 inside the evidence, we hear the powerful testimony of Sister Pauline Williamson. Listen, you can't afford to miss this one. Then at 3 p.m., we go behind the pulpit for another life transforming journey. So stick and stay with us. All the summer will come alive, 1 p.m. to 4:30 p.m. June 25 with me, yours truly, Sarah Ann, the Chirpy One on the family station, Love 101.
On the next Campus Connection, it's our academic year in review. As we come to the end of this academic year, we take a moment to reflect on what God has done over the past year and to highlight some of the best moments. It's also a time to turn the page, to look forward to what God might have in store for us in the coming year. Join the conversation with Miss Shania Smith, our campus liaison, and Miss Ruth Lawrence, our campus consultant. You don't want to miss our Campus Alert feature with Mr. Delano Jarrett, Manager of Client Relations and Marketing, and our Creative Block guest, Miss Shamika Williams, a singer, poet, and medical science student. This all happens on Tuesday, June 25 at 5:30 p.m. on the family station, Love 101.
Have to be a man, got to be a man. I am a man.
On the next episode of The Mailbox, we will focus on a better tomorrow. Music has been explored as a potential tool to reduce crime and violence in various contexts. Truth is that music is a powerful tool that can influence social change both negatively and positively. A major determining factor which defines whether society is plunged into an abyss of negativity manifested by crime and violence or become one of peace and tranquility is leadership. Can the use of gospel music help to create a better tomorrow? You are invited to join us as we speak with gospel artists Kevin Smith and Ryan Testify Davis on Wednesday, June 26th at 5:30 p.m. on the family station. Love 101, The Mailbox, Monday.
Welcome back to the Morning Watch. Thanks for staying with us. I'm your host, Dylan Toussaint. Now, the Ministry of Education and Youth is reporting that over 30,000 students who sat the 2024 Primary Exit Profile, that's PEP, have been placed in one of their preferred schools. Okay. The placement number represents 86.7% of students. The ministry counts this as a win for education. But is it really? Well, to discuss this and other related matters, we have joining us Mr. Kevin O'Brien Chang. He's a social commentator, and Mrs. Urelda Waugh, teacher and grade 6 coordinator of the Emmanuel Christian Academy. Good morning to you both.
Morning.
Morning. Mr. Chang, are you with us? Kevin? Mr. Chang, not hearing you. All right. Okay. Go again, Mr. Chang.
Are you hearing me?
Yes, hearing you now. Welcome as well. All right. All right,
Morning,
ladies and
everyone.
gentlemen. Yeah, welcome to both of you. Generally speaking, what are your opening thoughts on the recent PEP results? Beginning with you, Mrs. Waugh.
Good morning again.
Morning.
Well, based on the data that the ministry used in the press conference, cannot be denied that there has been some improvement because data speaks what data speaks. So we cannot deny that there has been some improvement. We see that the 87% of the students would have gotten one of their choices of the 7. 7 is quite a large number to determine the level of satisfaction that persons would have regarding their placement, or parents would have regarding the placement of their children. So based on the previous years, because there was a comparison done with 2019, 2023, 2024, we cannot deny that there has been some improvement in the overall performance based on the percentage that was shared by the Minister of Education. But in judging the success, there are other dynamics that we have to consider. So that is what I would say.
Okay. Mr. Chang, your opening salvo. Not hearing you, Mr. Chang or Brian Chang. All right.
Are you hearing me now?
Yes. Hearing you now. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Your
The data speaks, right? And if you look at the numbers, you can see that, okay, I'll give a little summary for the listeners who may not know. 2019, 2023, 2024. Math, 41% got proficient or highly proficient in 2019. 57% in 2023, 60% in 2024. So that's from 41% 2019 to 60% 2024. That's almost 50% increase. Unequivocally, a big jump. Language arts, 2019, 55%, 2023, 60%, 2024, 67%. That's 55% to 67% from 2019 to 2024. Science, 2019, 49%. 2024, 70%. Social studies, 2019, 63%, 2024, 72%. So these are overall average, 53% 2019, 67% 2024. That's a 25% jump. These are significant increases. Numbers don't lie. So yes, we know it's not perfect. Yes, we know there are still challenges, but every Jamaican must celebrate these significant increases in the, as they say, the proficient and highly proficient categories. It shows we're on the right track. Everybody in Jamaica, without exception, will agree. Education is the future. If we get education right, the country will improve. If we don't, it will not improve. David Williams, Blunt, has not been the most popular Minister of Education because of some people say she's a very technical person. She's not a warm person. She's more technical oriented, and there have been critics.
All right,
but the numbers show that she's doing something right.
Tell you what, Mr. Chang, hold that thought. All right, literally, we're going to be taking a break. We'll be right back.
Joseph, but you wickedness, cook up,
patty can't and without cocoa bread. Lay the patty eat flat in the bread. Bread soft, good cocoa bread. Patty hot cast can't chuck in a bread.
Toast the patty with cocoa bread nice. With them cocoa bread are my choice. Why soft and you know it tastes nice.
Cocoa bread with the chicken no rice. You better know.
Bread, get the best patty and cocoa bread are juicy today.
The time is now 7:15 a.m.
When tape diapers are difficult to change, it's time for Pampers Easy Ups with 360 stretchy waistband. They're easy to put on and take off, keeping their skin dry and protected.
Changes are easy with Easy Ups.
Need to beat the heat this summer? Come to Fosridge for your ceiling fans at prices as low as $15,000. Their sleek and stylish 52-inch fan blades are designed to fit and complement your interior decor. Call them now at 876-937-5099 or visit any of their locations in Kingston, Mandeville, Montego Bay, and their newest location, Draxall. Beat the heat this summer at Fosridge with their Madison ceiling fans. Prices as low as $15,000. Open Sundays.
Welcome back to the Morning Watch. Thanks for staying with us. I'm your host, Dylan Toussaint, and in this the first watch, we are analyzing the recent PEP results. In so doing, we have online Mrs. Urelda Waugh, teacher at the Emmanuel Christian Academy, and Mr. Kevin O'Brien Chang, social commentator. I believe before the break, Mr. Chang, you are telling us about your thoughts in regards to the Minister of Education and her input.
Yeah, like I said, Phoebe Williams, she's not the warmest of people. And so a lot of people have been saying, boy, they don't like the job she's doing. But the numbers speak. And it shows that these significant increases show that there's certainly something good is happening in the education realm in Jamaica.
Yeah. Now, Mrs. Waugh, overall the results, as we just heard, have been showing improvements over the years, 23 and now 2024. What do you think accounts for this, Mrs. Waugh? Mrs. Waugh, with us? Not hearing you.
Okay. I believe that when you are data-driven, the profile concept, I believe has a significant role to play in the improvement of the scores. Because, for example, as a teacher myself, when I got my grade 6 group this year, one of the things that I did was to go back to look at the grade 4 scores, the grade 5 scores, to identify some of the areas of deficits and weaknesses. And as the grade coordinator, I met with my team, pointed out these shortcomings that were identified. And from that, we could put in place the necessary strategies to address some of the weaknesses that we identified or that were identified in the previous years. I would assume too that a lot of schools would take this route, and when you do that, you cannot help but improve. Instead of just, because when we were doing GSAT, where it was just the testing was just based on recall and recognition, or mainly on recall and recognition. So you were drilling, you were rote learning. But with this new dynamic, the door has been opened for the teacher to put in place the necessary interventions. And with that being done, then I believe that this speaks to the improvement that we're seeing. And I want to also point out that one of the things I like about the improvement is that it's not fluctuating. When things are fluctuating, it speaks to instability. We see progress, probably gradual, but we see progress. So I would say that the ability of the teacher, the administrators of the schools to do interventions based on data and based on more precise information greatly contributes to the improvements that we're seeing.
Those interventions, were they not in place before this? I mean, PEPA has been around for a little while.
Yes, there were, but with anything else, as we work it, as we do it, get a little better at it. And we have 2019, the COVID came, and it affected to a great extent the progress. And then we see 2023, 2024, this is the first cohort of children, as was mentioned by the minister, that is doing all the three for the three grades of grades 4, grade 5, and grade 6. So like I said, if the data speaks, irrespective of the things that I think need to be better, because there are those things that I think needs to be better, I cannot deny the fact that the improvement is seen.
Like what needs to be made better, Mrs. Orr?
One of the things I personally have an issue with performance tasks. I have an issue with performance tasks for quite a few reasons, but chief among them is the fact that I don't see when children move on to first form, 7th grade, I don't see the continuation of that kind of thing. I think it can be pressuring for the children. So instead of doing the performance tasks, for example, at the grade 4 level, I think the literacy test, the numeracy test, and probably some form of communication test would have been adequate. It's kind of pressuring, in my estimation, a lot of the things that are required of the children. Probably it's a little bit above their heads in terms of their maturity, in terms of their developmental levels.
So you're saying it's too much for them at that early?
In my estimation, it is. It's a little bit too much.
Okay. Mr. O'Brien Chang, what do these results say about the real impact COVID may have had on the primary schools and the children in particular?
Well, as I said, Ms. Waugh, I can't speak of the details. And I must say, it's nice to hear from Ms. Waugh, somebody in the system. We on the outside can only speculate. But I'm glad to hear her say if you disagree with Ms. Waugh, that the system you think is working in the right way, right? In other words, there's been improvement in the system, and that system is driving the improvements where you're able to access the data.
It has improved.
Right. But what I'm doing that is COVID impact, because a number of people have been concerned that in the COVID era, if I may call it that, years ago, it would have negatively impacted the results and the performance of the children. What is this saying to us now?
It's saying to me, listen, as an outsider, that yes, we know there were challenges, but the system, Minister of Education and the teachers, the parents and the children, we have managed to, a lot of people were afraid COVID would drop back down, would drop below the levels of COVID, and it take us years to recover. But here we are seeing that it's a 25% improvement overall from 2019. So it says to me that we must give a hand to everybody, in the education system, the ministry, the teachers, the parents, that the great fear that we would lose years or decades and drop back. Instead, we have seen significant improvements. In Jamaica, we love to criticize. We are often easily and love to focus on negativity. And to me, this is a kind of triumph for everyone involved, that rather than dropping back decades or years, we have a significant 25% improvement. I think all Jamaica should be very happy. And personally, I'm amazed this is not front page news on the papers and the lead stories. This is one of the most significant stories in Jamaica the last 5 years, in my view, because everyone agrees education is the future. And here's everybody when doom and gloom, oh, we're going to drop back down, but we have increased significantly. And yet, few people are talking about it. We're not seeing the media highlight it as it should be highlighted, in my view. And it's time Jamaica started celebrating the good news and not wallowing in negativity, the media especially.
Yeah, Love FM certainly is doing that. All right. First watch for the week.
Yes, I must give you guys kudos for highlighting this. Not many media houses are.
Yeah. Mrs. Waugh, is it that the students have become smarter, or is it that paper has become easier?
Neither. I just believe that like I said, the ability to use the children's profiles. I also believe that because of the spreading out, for want of a better word, because of the spreading out of the examinations, for example, I still think it's too much, but let's say that we're doing the CBTs. We're looking at the CBTs. A child who is not very competent in
what is CBT for those who do not know?
Curriculum-based tests. We have 4 of them, as well as the ability and the 2 performance tasks that we do at the grade 6 level. Let's say that a child is not very competent in math, but is competent or relatively competent in language arts. That child now has an opportunity to do better because you're doing the examination separately. So that, I think, could account for the improvement that we've seen. Another thing that we need to take into consideration too, on the parents' part, I think a lot of parents, from my own purview, a lot of parents are becoming more involved. They're understanding and realizing.
What's causing that? What's causing that, Mrs. Waugh?
The parents, because parents are realizing that education is important. And
How comes? What was behind
what is accounting for that?
Yeah.
I think just the change in our society, just the change in our world, we are realizing, we are becoming a nation that realizes that education, particularly for those persons, for example, in my days, and persons who are younger than I am, the extra lessons and children going to extra lessons until after 8 and after 9 and after 7, children going to Saturday classes. That emphasis was not placed on that. And it speaks to the fact that parents too want better for their children. The teachers, we cannot discount what the teachers do. I think teachers are putting out a lot of effort and using a lot of initiative to ensure that children do well. The resources provided by the Ministry of Education for many of the public schools, the primary schools, I work in the private system, but in many of the primary schools is woefully lacking. But we have teachers who will go the extra mile. I was speaking to a colleague from one of the public schools who said to me that, for example, the ability test, that the children, they do not purchase books, but the teachers will get a book and they will write, and to write multiple choice questions on the chalkboard is no easy task. It's time consuming, it's a slow process.
They are committed.
But the teachers, yes, that's the word, are committed enough to be writing this task on the board for the children.
Okay, well said. Well said, Mrs. Waugh and Mr. O'Brien Chang. Thank you both for joining us this morning. We're out of time. Have a safe and productive day.
Thanks for having us, and thanks and love to highlighting positivity.
Yes.
Have
okay.
a blessed one.
Yeah. The Morning Watch will return in just a moment.
Jail bank, anything possible with a little savings in your hand.
The time by Jan Bank is
7:30.
Everybody needs a helping hand, somebody to understand. In the end, we're all human. For people living with HIV, no discrimination. Here to support them through. Respect you as usual. Got to protect them too. Protect, accept, and respect people living with HIV. A message from the Ministry of Health and Wellness.
Jamaica and its workforce are advancing quickly. Life-changing opportunities are arising. You need training and support. We are the Renewed Heart NSTA Trust, committed to providing new and emerging skills training and opportunities. Come to Heart. We'll help you claim your place in the workforce of the future.
Follow Grace Sardine, better flavor. Grace Sardine with the chef and the beginner. Follow the one with pepper, that are the winner. Shop and supermarket, everybody sell it. You all of them nice. Pass the part, make us shell it.
Pick up Grace Sardines with peppers, vegetable oil, water, and olive oil with peppers.
Cook it up, pre-breakfast, lunch, or dinner. Shake it out, spice it up, make it simmer. Grace Sardine, get the better flavor. Quick and easy as a print it. Ready?
Grace Sardines, follow the better flavor.
Get ready for another inspiring show this Testimony Tuesday inside Alive, 1 p.m. to 4:30 p.m. June 25. Packed with inspirational stories and island-flavored music. 1:45, we bring you the brain testing Menticize Listener Speak Edition. Stick around for prayer blast at 2 o'clock as we bring in the prayer bells of heaven. 2:15 inside the evidence, we hear the powerful testimony of Sister Pauline Williamson. Listen, you can't afford to miss this one. Then at 3 p.m., we go behind the pulpit for another life transforming journey. So stick and stay with us. All the summer will come alive, 1 p.m. to 4:30 p.m. June 25 with me, yours truly, Sarah Ann, the Chirpy One on the family station, Love 101.
On the next Campus Connection, it's our academic year in review. As we come to the end of this academic year, we take a moment to reflect on what God has done over the past year and to highlight some of the best moments. It's also a time to turn the page, to look forward to what God might have in store for us in the coming year. Join the conversation with Miss Shania Smith, our campus liaison, and Miss Ruth Lawrence, our campus consultant. You don't want to miss our Campus Alert feature with Mr. Delano Jarrett, Manager of Client Relations and Marketing, and our Creative Block guest, Miss Shamika Williams, a singer, poet, and medical science student. This all happens on Tuesday, June 25 at 5:30 p.m. on the family station, Love 101.
Welcome back to the Morning Watch. Thanks for staying with us. I'm your host, Dylan Toussaint. Let's now look at the newspapers to see what Jamaicans and others are saying and doing in the Gleaner. WikiLeaks founder will plead guilty in deal with US and be freed from prison. Then government attorney says constitutional amendment gave Llewellyn automatic right to remain in office. In the Observer, Kenya force leaves Nairobi to tackle gang violence in Haiti. And also in the Observer, Health Ministry suspends youth chatbot. And in the Loop News, focus on another private school for foreign children in Jamaica. And also 14-year-old charged with double murder of Jamaican men in Toronto, Canada. Those are some of the major stories in our newspapers. Coming up next, we'll read some of the feedback from our social media question. How satisfied are you with the management and the results of PEP this year? How satisfied are you with the management and the results of PEP this year? We're asking you to leave a comment on our Facebook page and YouTube channel, Love 101 FM Jamaica, or WhatsApp 876-997-3125. We'll be right back.
Megan Topper, Olympic 100-meter hurdles bronze medalist. At 5'1", I've always been asked, how you manage to clear the hurdles so easily? Truth is, I've been overcoming hurdles all my life. How? Preparation. So I always prepare for every hurdle in life. And that's why I drink True Shake. With True Shake, I get 9 grams of protein and 24 essential vitamins. I may be short, but with True Shake, I am not short of anything.
Come on, True Shake and go!
Jamaica and its workforce are advancing quickly. Life-changing opportunities are arising. You need training and support. We are the Renewed Heart NSTA Trust, committed to providing new and emerging skills training and opportunities. Come to Heart. We'll help you claim your place in the workforce of the future.
What flavors does Oreo have around the world?
Oreo hot chocolate in Paris.
Oreo cajeta in Mexico. Here comes Oreo around the world, the promo that takes you on a family trip to taste Oreo flavors around the world. Participate by registering your Oreo package codes on oreopromo.com/JM. Discover more on the website. Oreo, stay playful. Promotion runs from May 10th to July 5th, 2024. Terms and conditions apply. Authorized under Section 58.3 of the Betting, Gaming and Lotteries Act.
Remember every dream where you have, remember everything where you plan. With Jane Bank, anything possible. With a little savings in your hand. Save so you can build the house, buy the land, do up goals and dreams like a plan. Save so you can.
Living your best life and making memories is priceless. But saving little by little is what makes it affordable. Stop wishing you could. With your Jane Bank savings, you absolutely can. Jane Bank will help you find a way.
Have to be a man, got to be a man.
I am a man. On the next episode of The Mailbox, we will focus on a better tomorrow. Music has been explored as a potential tool to reduce crime and violence in various contexts. Truth is that music is a powerful tool that can influence social change both negatively and positively. A major determining factor which defines whether society is plunged into an abyss of negativity manifested by crime and violence or become one of peace and tranquility is leadership. Can the use of gospel music help to create a better tomorrow? You are invited to join us as we speak with gospel artists Kevin Smith and Ryan Testify Davis on Wednesday, June 26th at 5:30 p.m. on the family station. Love 101, The Mailbox, Monday up.
No matter what you do, can it on them there. So I know the guys when they on them there.
Welcome back to the Morning Watch. Thanks for staying with us. I'm your host, Dylan Toussaint. Let's now join Jokal for a look at how our Facebook, YouTube, and WhatsApp friends answer today's question. How satisfied are you with the management and results of PEP this year, Jokal?
All right, so we have some responses, or a response rather, and this one is coming to us from Edna in Montego Bay. Let's hear from her.
Morning, watch. Good morning, 101 listeners and staff. Well, I must say, I am pleased about the result of the PEP examination. Wow, the percentage, yes, it has moved, and I'm happy for that, and I hope it will keep on that journey. Yes, let us continue to pray up our Ministry of Education, pray up our children, yeah, man, pray up the country and a whole, that things will be better. All right, all the best.
All right, thank you, Edna, for that one, and those are our responses so far.
All right, good. Ever faithful Edna there saying she hopes it keeps on that journey. Yeah, we all hope so with her. All right, we now segue into the second watch. And recently, International Men's Health Week was observed. Now, it's crucial for everyone to monitor their well being. Yet, statistics reveal men often neglect this vital aspect. In fact, men are reportedly 24% less likely than women to get regular checkups and 22% more likely to skip cholesterol tests, cancer screening, and even a checkup for the common cold. So in this, the second watch, we'll explore why men may avoid the doctor and the health conditions they commonly ignore, both physical and mental. In so doing, we have online Dr. Donovan White, holistic physician, and Dr. Lekim Samaj, transformation psychologist. Good morning to you both.
Good morning.
Morning. Great. Good to have you both with us again. Now, gentlemen, what do you think are the main reasons for men reportedly being less likely to visit the doctor for even regular checkups? Beginning with you, Dr. White.
I think men tend to look at the doctor's visit as literally like a sign of weakness, because they are men and they are macho and they are strong, and literally unless there's a physical challenge like pain, trauma, that is when they will visit the doctor. But to do routine checks, that's really not up their street.
A sign of weakness, or how comes?
Well, because if they are macho beings, macho beings mean that they are strong.
Mm-hmm.
And if you are strong, then you shouldn't really be going to the doctor as a sign of weakness. That's what I'm inferring at this point.
So they're saying you visit the doctor, it shows that you are weak because you're visiting a doctor.
Well,
that's it.
the impression I have.
Yeah, okay.
Because if you're a macho man and you're strong, as most Jamaican men will think, then why should you be visiting the doctor?
I see. Dr. Samaj, your take on that?
Well, let me just start by just adding some numbers to what you quoted earlier. It's worse than that. Anything that kills people kill more men than women. There's only one form of mortality that women exceed men, and that's childbirth. And if men could have children, we would die faster too, all right? 90% of people who die at work or on the job are men. So just it's that bad. And exactly what Donovan said, I mean, there's the culture, the socialization, you know, man don't cry, man don't show weakness, man don't, so that kind of faulty reality has prevented the whole process of early detection. So, for example, the survival of breast cancer is way above that of survival of prostate cancer. Because a lot of women, I'm not a woman who detect breast cancer at stage 0 because of regular checkup. But whereas for many men, when it's detected, it's stage 4. Very little can be done, And we have missed a number of opportunities where men could have made a difference in, showing the culture another way. I think of 3 right away. You remember DJ Tiger? When he had that motorcycle accident?
Right.
If he had been asked and agreed to become the poster child for motorcycle safety, because that's part of the macho, man no wear helmet and man can't do anything, but Baba Tunde, remember Baba Tunde?
Yes.
When he had his motorcycle accident also, and he was never the same since then.
Yeah.
And even another one that if we could build on it, most recent, Kingsley Cooper, based on what we're hearing, what was thought to be some stomach disorder or what have you, something you ate.
All right, tell you what, Doc. Hold that thought. We're up on a break. Be right back.
Praise our teeth for the chef and the beginner. follow the one with pepper. That are the winner. Shop and supermarket. Everybody
Great
say
sardines, follow the better flavor.
The time is 7:45.
In life, the more you have to lose.
The more you love, the more you worry. The more you own, the less you sleep.
The more people rely on you, the more you have on your mind.
I have peace of mind.
Knowing that whatever I own
and whoever I care about are covered by the very best.
with Sagicor Life and Advantage General, get life, health, and general insurance to help you protect what matters most.
well, if you want buy appliances for your home with the quality high and the price low, get it on a Bashco. Get it on a Bashco. 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 For everything where you need. Bashco. Quality service guaranteed on a Bashco. Get it on a Bashco and get you more. Yeah, Bashco. Furniture for your house, and everything for your kitchen, rocks, and more at Bashco. The store that gives you more. Bashco.
Welcome back to the Morning Watch. Thanks for staying with us. I'm your host, Dylan Toussaint, and in this is the second watch. We're looking on men's mental and physical wellness. In so doing, we have online Dr. Lekim Semaj, transformation psychologist, and Dr. Donovan White, holistic physician. Before the break, Dr. Semaj, you're telling us about some outstanding individuals in society and the possible impact they could have in messaging.
Now, I say the most recent situation, what we're hearing regarding Kingsley Cooper, that what was being self-medicated, what was being done at home with ginger tea, turned out to be something much more serious. And just the timeline that it wanted, it looked as if you seek help earlier. So men are just not prone to do that. And we need to do things to encourage it, and there are ways we can intervene.
Yeah. Dr. White, I ask you first, what are some major health conditions, for you, Dr. White, physical, that men tend to ignore? What are some major health conditions?
Well, look at the common things. The common things, for example, like diabetes, high blood pressure, high cholesterol. Those are things that are very common in both male and female. But women will pick this up much earlier than men. Because unless the symptom is life-threatening to the man, he's not interested. Unless it interferes with his sexual function, he's not interested. Other than that, as long as he's breathing, walking, feels that he has energy, he's good. So if he's good, he has no reason to go and check on anything. And that's basically how Jamaican men have thought for years. And they still continue to think along those lines.
Is it an exclusively Jamaican, mindset?
I wouldn't say it's an exclusive Jamaican mindset, but we can speak of Jamaica because that's where we are.
Yeah. Dr. Semaj, major health conditions mentally that men tend to ignore?
I think the mental health is even worse, because since mental health issues are not visible, so to speak, except extreme symptoms and such, so that it's just ignored completely. And we sort of work some of those things into what we call idiosyncrasies. Boy, I saw him stay. And we are accepting of those maladaptive behavior, of those disruptive behavior. And until they get to the point where, listen, it's just not tolerable anymore. So we give it a long runway. As a result, it's very hard to curb it. And when we see the signs early, we ignore them.
So give us some specific signs, Dr. Semaj, that we need to pick up on.
Well, look, mental illness, I prefer the word, emotional, because we don't think mental, you think mad, but emotional well-being. So, for example, let's take, for example, as anger management. It is almost assumed that it is all right, it is proper to get angry. And then when you're angry, you do somebody something. Look how much violence has taken place in Jamaica. Look how much our murder rate and so on. We're number one in the world now, because El Salvador has solve their problem to a certain extent. And just anger. Something happens and you get angry. Somebody disappoints you. Somebody upsets you. So we see it in the domestic sphere. We see it between men playing domino and, a man do something, and next thing you know, the violence has now taken over the situation. So just anger management and resolving conflicts. Those are some of the basic areas, and the results to violence is the only way that they can, the most immediate manner in which it is seen to be dealt with.
Are there things that are normally said that we could use as cues that something is off?
Yeah, many instances. So, for example, when I talk to people about, say, even women in relationship situation, in the early days, once you see like a sign, you take sleep mark it, grab you and shake you, start to, separate you from your friends and so on. And you see these cues, you see the way the person responds. I remember a woman related to me that this man that she was just recently seen, when they'd go out, and the way he would handle the people in the restaurant, the way he would, handle the waitress and so on, the way he would carry on and so on. Driving, the manner in which every little incident that, you turn it into a conflict and man, bad drive, watch me on him. So you see those signs very early, and somebody has to push back on it. And without that, it escalates. And so we have to almost protect men from themselves. One thing I advise companies, to save men's life, mandate that they do a full checkup on the anniversary of their appointment, because they have the health cards already not using. And so many things are picked up as a result of just screening. And I'm sure Dr. White will agree with that.
Before I go to Dr. White, you're suggesting that it be mandated?
Oh, yes, because look.
Wouldn't there be human rights issues there?
Well, not in a case like this, because look, you're trying to save the person's life. And we're not limited to say on the anniversary of your appointment, there are many companies who would do it. It's done informally, but it could be done. If it's not done formally, you're not going to save the man's life. 2 weeks ago, I was working with a group of men who were about to be made redundant their posts in the next 2 weeks. And the first thing I advise them, make sure tomorrow when you go back to work, schedule an eye exam, dental exam, full medical exam, because you have all of those things on your health cards you have not been using, and come the end of the month, it's done. Take advantage of it.
Yeah. Dr. White, any symptoms physically that we need to zero in on in terms of hypertension you mentioned, and diabetes, and any other conditions of concern?
Well, basically, those are the main ones, but we also should do the routine cancer screens. Cancer screens, for example, cancer of the prostate, cancer of the gut, cancers, any part of the body, but they can be picked up by routine screening, although the person is not necessarily having any symptoms. So we need to be on the lookout for things like that. But just to support what Dr. Smart was saying, we need to recognize that men tend to be less expressive than women. Women will be very eloquent. They'll talk about their feelings. They'll talk about lots of situations, but not the men.
Less expressive verbally.
Verbally.
Okay.
Right. And that's a very important point. And as a result of that, when things are said that they're not happy with, they tend to react in a violent fashion, because they really don't have the ability or the time to really try and argue at an emotional level. So they tend to get very physical, which is by itself another major source of illness, because trauma is a major source of illness that we're ignoring.
Yeah. So to be more specific, what symptoms we look for, Dr. White, in the physical realm for these conditions you mentioned?
With Smart again, in that if we can do on our annual checkups for not just men, but men and women as well, if we can do that emotional check to ensure that they are within realms of normal behavior, then that will make a big difference in the workplace. and in the society.
And something known as executive profile, you recommend
That's
that?
a blood test, a routine blood test, but that's done literally every time we do the medical.
Yeah. Dr. Samaj, what strategies can be implemented to encourage
one of the most important things, men who are married tend to have a longer life expectancy, because a wife is a management position. And wives are the one who remind men of dental appointments and medical appointments and what they need to do and so on. So without that check,
are you saying you should get married? That's one of the strategies?
Listen, man, it helps. Married men have a longer life expectancy.
Okay.
So that is one of the checks and balance. Now, for example, last week Friday, I was at a meeting. I got a call from my dentist. Oh, by the way, Dr. Samaj, you're due for your cleaning and so on. Yeah. When can you? You know what I did? I said, can I come now? I just dealt with it then. As opposed to, because they do that. They call you to remind you of these things. So for me, I've heightened it. So men need to talk to men more about these situations. To share an example, 3 years ago, I had a swelling, a slight swelling on my thigh, which I just attributed to extra muscle because, I press 16 plates in the gym and all of that. And
here we go.
So I checked it out, and it turned out to be, they did the biopsy, and it was like sarcoma. It was cancerous. So it was removed and had a couple of weeks of radiation therapy, and now 3 years and free. Nothing is there, So even just to check on something like that, here was a slight swelling. But if I hadn't checked on it to see, what exactly is this? Any changes you see in the part of your body, any changes in the behavior, get an opinion on it.
Yeah. And so you're saying marriage, and I think you had mentioned earlier the workplace, that some things could be implemented to ensure that
exactly. So you need these external forces, because if it's not happening naturally internally, external. For example, when I had a program called Man Talk, we would deal with some of those issues so that men would. There's a show on TV now called The Cut. I think it's an excellent vehicle for that kind of conversation, for them to do periodic issues on men's health, because to hear man and man talking about these things in a uplifting and a supportive manner, that will influence. And then men have to try to influence their brethren and friends. You see somebody doing something, and you say, boss, you have to check it out, No, it's not so good. You're talking foolishness. Yeah. So man and man have to start,
talk about these things. Dr. White, you want to say anything on that?
Yeah, well, I think if man and man start talking a lot more, certainly life will be much better for everybody. But men don't discuss their health issues, not publicly. Even privately, the doctor has to try hard to pull information from him, because he sees a discussion of his health issues as a sign of
weakness.
Yes, it's a sign of weakness again. So he does not want to speak about those issues. But if we can get men to speak and to talk up about the conditions that they have without seeing it as a flaw, then it will make a big, big difference in our lives.
Yeah. And of course, there are concerns, generally speaking, about how the society as a whole addresses issues relating to the health of men and boys. There are a lot of things out there in terms of women, but very few in terms of men. So the concerns remain. Gentlemen, I want to thank you both for joining us this morning. We're out of time, and we hope that what we have said today in some way would have impacted the psyche of our men and boys. Thanks for joining us.
My pleasure.
You're welcome. Okay, all right.
Thank you, listeners, for being with us. Join us again tomorrow as we continue to set the stage for a discussion of topical and controversial issues. For information or get copies of this program, call our production department at 876-968-959-627. This has been the Morning Watch. Thanks to our producer, Kathy Gale, and our guests. I'm Dylan Toussaint, and you're back to Love in the Morning with Jokal Dyer.